It's 3 a.m. You told yourself you'd sleep hours ago. Instead, you're lying in the dark, thumb moving on its own. You don't even know what you're looking for anymore. But the real reason you can't put the phone down has almost nothing to do with the phone. It has to do with something that lived inside your skull long before screens existed. Picture your ancestors 40,000 years ago sitting around a dying fire. The night is long, the dark is total, and somewhere past the edge of the firelight is information they desperately need. Is there a predator nearby? Did the neighboring group make peace or prepare for war? For nearly the entirety of human existence, information was survival, and information was scarce. You didn't get updates. You got silence, punctuated by rare, valuable signals. That scarcity shaped something specific in your brain. Neuroscientist Wolfram Schultz, working with primates in the 1990s, discovered how dopamine actually operates. Most people think dopamine is a pleasure chemical. It isn't. Schultz found that dopamine spikes not when you receive a reward, but when you anticipate one, especially when that reward is uncertain. Say that again slowly. Uncertain. A guaranteed reward barely moves your dopamine levels. An uncertain one sends them soaring. This is why a slot machine is more addictive than a vending machine. The vending machine always gives you the soda. The slot machine might give you nothing, might give you everything. Now look at what's in your hand at 3 a.m. Every time you unlock your phone, you're pulling a lever. Will there be a message? A like? Something new? Most of the time, no. But the uncertainty is the entire mechanism. Psychologist B.F. Skinner demonstrated this with pigeons decades before smartphones existed. He found that a variable reward schedule, where reinforcement comes unpredictably, produces far more persistent behavior than a fixed one. Pigeons pecked longer and harder when they didn't know exactly when the reward would come. You are the pigeon. Your phone is the lever. And the reward is not the content. The reward is the not knowing. So why does this hit hardest in the deepest part of the night? Because your ancestors' brains treated darkness as a signal to stay alert, not to switch off completely. Sleep researcher Matthew Walker at UC Berkeley has spent years studying how modern light interferes with your circadian rhythm, the internal clock that regulates when your body wants to be awake or asleep. Your eyes contain cells that respond specifically to blue light, the exact wavelength your phone emits. When that light hits your retina at 3 a.m., your brain interprets it as morning. Melatonin drops. Your body gets a signal that says, stay awake, something is happening. Your ancestors never experienced a light source that lied to their biology like this. Firelight is warm and dim. Nothing like the blue-white glow of a screen. Your circadian system evolved around one primary light source, and it has no defense against a second one that behaves nothing like the sun. There's a second layer here, and it's less about light and more about loneliness. You reach for your phone partly because you're alone, and being alone in the dark used to mean something dangerous. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar has studied why humans are so relentlessly social, and his research suggests isolation itself triggers a threat response. For nearly all of human history, being separated from your group at night meant vulnerability. No one to keep watch. Your nervous system still treats social disconnection as a low-grade emergency, even in a locked room in a modern city. Your phone offers a counterfeit connection, a notification, a red dot. Just enough of a signal to make your nervous system pause before spiraling into full alarm. You're not checking your phone because you're bored. You're checking it because some old part of your brain is still doing a head count of the tribe. Here's the part that should reframe everything. None of this makes you weak-willed. You are running two systems that were never designed to interact. One evolved over hundreds of thousands of years to chase uncertain rewards and monitor social safety in darkness. The other was built over the last 15 years by some of the most sophisticated behavioral engineers on the planet, specifically to exploit that first system. Former Google design ethicist Tristan Harris has spoken publicly about how notification systems and infinite scroll were deliberately built using the same principles Skinner identified in pigeons. Not accidentally, deliberately. Your 3 a.m. scrolling isn't a personal failure. It's the intended outcome of a system engineered by people who understood your dopamine circuitry better than you do. That doesn't mean you're powerless. It means the fight was never fair to begin with. and knowing that changes how you fight it. The next time you catch yourself at 3 a.m., thumb moving, chasing a notification that isn't coming, you don't have to see it as weakness spiraling out of control. You can see it for what it actually is. A hunter-gatherer's brain, built to scan the dark for danger and treasure both, plugged into a machine engineered to never let that scanning stop. The dark hasn't changed in 40,000 years, but something in your hand learned exactly how to make it feel like it never ends.